What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. Uh-oh, you're getting little cow licks. You know, homesteading can be a pretty challenging thing, even on a good day. Bad days seem almost impossible. And even after doing this for 14, 15, 16, however many years you want to say, it still gets a little overwhelming at times, especially the more that you take on. And over the last few months, we've been in preparing mode, right? Figuring out what kind of things we want to plant, taking a look at our animals, what do we need to downsize, what do we need to add to. So all of that stuff together can just be a little much. So I started praying, asking, okay, how do we handle this, God? How do we divide and conquer, if you will? And just recently, over the last probably 2 weeks, we've been getting hit really hard with Nehemiah, the book of Nehemiah. And if you're not familiar with it, basically what happens is they go into Jerusalem and everything's been torn down. The walls have been torn down, the gates are burning, and this is something that needs to be rebuilt. And rather than cower down and be like, this is impossible, it's nothing, I can't do it, Nehemiah prays to God and says, hey, need your help. Nehemiah started instructing everybody that was in Jerusalem to just focus on their one area in front of their house, and then whatever area that they were in charge of guarding over. If they would just build that side of their wall, everything would be fine. So I feel like there's two lessons to learn from that. One, stop trying to pay attention to what everybody else is doing. Yes, you can learn from people, but don't try to keep up with what everybody else is doing. Focus on your wall, figure out what you need to get done, and get it done. Don't be distracted by all this stuff that's going on out in the world, out in different communities. Focus on you, get it done. You know, my girls are, sometimes they fall prey to this thinking. They get on a task and then they worry about what the other one's doing. You're not doing this right. You forgot to do that. And you know what happens? Nothing. Nothing gets done. So one of the reasons I bring up the girls is to my second point. Not just forgetting about all the distractions outside in the world and, you know, who's doing what where. More specifically for us on our homestead, rather than one person trying to jump around and do this and do that and do this and do that, it's so much better for us to focus on who has what strengths where, and then divide and conquer. So for instance, we have all of these grapevines behind us. Yes, I am fully capable of clipping muscadine vines, but Carol loves to make baskets out of the muscadine vines. So she has taken on clipping off the muscadine vines and then taking those and turning them into baskets. Just like firewood. We heat our house with firewood. That is something that I don't want to say can't do, but I've never really worked on trying to do. That's a Jason thing. Jason cuts our wood, he splits the wood, the girls help split and collect the wood, They split up the kindling, collect kindling and stuff. If I tried to do that, I'd make a mess out of it. So again, splitting the work so that everybody has a specific job. Another example, we recently had some pigs that were orphaned, piglets. And at that point, everybody was all hands on deck. But even within that situation, we split everybody up on what needed to be done because time was of the essence. So everybody running around like chickens with their heads cut off was not going to be productive. So we split off who knew what to do and who just needed to be going and fetching stuff. And we were able to give the maximum effort to be able to try and save those babies. Now, we've also had some goats born. Again, am I fully capable of taking care of the baby goats? Of course I am. Heck, I even get up in the morning and make bottles for everybody. But that's my point. LaDessa doesn't have to do that because she goes outside, milks the cow, milks the goat. Meanwhile, I go inside and I warm up bottles and get everything ready for everybody to be fed. I'm fully capable of milking. Heck, I'm the one that first started. When we first started milking cows, I was the one hand milking them. But you see, if I was constantly trying to do everything, nothing would ever get done. And I know that y'all, some of y'all out there feel exactly the same way. You try to take on too much at one time and nothing gets done at 100%. So my suggestion to you all is to glean just a little bit from Nehemiah. It's easier if you just put everything out there, figure out what needs to be done, and then identify who has the strengths of everything that needs to be done, divide those out, and turn everybody loose, because you will be amazed how much quality work you can get done and how much quantity work you can get done if you just focus on your own wall and not worry about everybody else's. Thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless and have a nice day.